What's up, guys? I'm George.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Luke.
And we are the Vulgar Critics. And last night we went and seen a movie called SPECTRE. James Bond, 007, starring Daniel Craig. And today we are doing a review of it. So, Danny?
Yeah, so, Spectre. It's the 24th
installment.
24th installment of the Bond series. Daniel Craig comes back again as James Bond in what may be his last role. He did a pretty good job. My only real complaint is I think you can kind of tell at certain points he's getting tired of being James Bond now that it's his fourth movie doing it. Mm-hmm. And after the fiasco that was Quantum of Solace, although he redeemed himself in Skyfall. But anyway, it was a pretty good movie overall. It's just my main problems with it were the audio in our sitting sounded like compressed. I don't know any other way to put it. It just sounded off. Like it just wasn't up to high quality standards. My other really big issue with it is with how the story's driven, especially in regards to the main villain. He just isn't really given enough screen time, in my opinion. When he's on screen, the actor who plays him, Christoph Waltz, is absolutely fantastic and does an amazing job. One of the best Bond performances, along with Silva from Skyfall. But it's just he doesn't get enough screen time, and I don't feel there's enough scenes between the two. One thing I did really enjoy about the movie is the opening sequence. The whole first action sequence of the movie, it looks as if it's all made in one take. And it's just really well done, and that kind of made my film geek in me come out a little bit. But other than that, it was an alright action flick, but for me overall it left me disappointed. And I wish I didn't have to say that, but I contribute that really more so to just them not taking enough time to invest into the plot and into the movie itself. I wasn't a big fan of the whole subplot they stole from Mission Impossible either. So yeah. But that's all I have to say about it. B rating.
I think with the movie, honestly, the whole time I was watching it, I kept getting one sense of, one feeling, and it was that they just didn't write it well. It was just bland. The dialogue was bland. There was no catchy Bond shit in it at all. And I always talk about Skyfall. I think Skyfall is the same way. There's no, catchy, suave James Bond moments, and that's really disappointing. And I think that's disappointing. I think the director of these last two movies has really kind of fucked that up. The whole suave, elegant, British secret agent James Bond. They made him into a regular guy named James, and it's not really as appealing to me personally. And it does it again in this movie. I think, like I said, the writing is not good at all. It's like they were rushing. I remember he was saying that yesterday. It's like they kind of rushed. It's just like they set out a time limit and they just put it together, and they were like, all right, here we go. Daniel Craig didn't seem like he was happy. He didn't seem like he was in the mood. I will say that about Skyfall. I think Daniel Craig really enjoyed making that movie. I think, you could tell in his acting, his performance, you could tell he was more energetic and positive, and he was, you know what I mean? But this movie, he just wasn't. He didn't have that. I basically predicted the entire movie. I mean, right at the beginning, I essentially predicted, the plot twist, and it was ridiculous. And then I re-predicted the next plot twist, 30 minutes before it happened. I think we probably all did. It was really bland and basic. It's like they just thought, okay, think of a plot. It's like they took 10 writers, put them in a room, and they said, think of a plot in 20 seconds, go. And it's like whoever thought of the third best plot gets to write the movie. That's what it seemed like. It was really bland. I'm going to give it a C+, just because it is a James Bond movie. It had its moments. I think, honestly, the Omega watch that he was wearing in the movie was probably the coolest part about it. I don't even think anything else was really that good. C+.
For me, I mean, like they said, the movie was written terribly. The only thing that I really liked that differed from the other Daniel Craig movies and I do want to say Daniel Craig is my favorite James Bond, but was they gave the supporting actors a lot of more screen time, like Q, M, and Moneypenny. They got a lot of more screen time, which was nice to see. But even with all that, there was still no character development, like he was saying yesterday, and it really just didn't make you care for the characters more than you did in the last movies.
Right.
Now. And it really had you go into too many locations in the movie. Usually there's like 3 or 4 in a Bond movie. I think this had like 6. And towards the third act, it just got out of hand. There was no reason for him to go from England to Africa, from Africa to America, back to fucking wherever. It just made no sense.
Austria,
yeah. It was pointless. And, yeah, I mean, Christoph Waltz, his role was a cameo. He was probably in it for like 17 minutes of total screen time. And they marketed it as a Christoph Waltz movie. Like, he was the biggest bad Bond villain we'll ever see now.
There's even a fucking poster online. It shows Christoph Waltz darkened up.
Look, and I'll say this. I didn't say this, I forgot to allude to this. Christoph Waltz is probably my favorite actor. Top 3 for sure right now. I think he's the best actor in the world right now. Skill-wise, he's just super amazing. Just very talented actor. But they didn't do him justice.
Yeah. He
was written shallow and bland. And if you watch Skyfall, the villain of Skyfall was written good, vibrant, mental. Like they looked in his. It's like they made the character in Skyfall. They wrote out the character, and they all sat down and said, "What is he thinking? Why does he think it? How is he going to pursue what he wants to pursue with his thoughts in that manner?" And they didn't do that with Christoph Waltz's character. They didn't make it right. And that is terrible because Waltz is the best actor in the world, like I said, in my opinion.
But, he really didn't do anything to affect 007. He was the one behind all of his past loves dying, and, he was like his brother. They did grow up together. Well, his character's dad raised Bond, but it never physically shows you do something that would harm Bond or physically or emotionally hurt him. So therefore, if we didn't see it and just heard about it, we didn't feel that effect. It was just kind of pointless that he would even be mentioning that. Because when he said it, it was like you predicted that was, he was the one behind it. Now, it was a letdown, but if they do in the movies there with Daniel Craig, I think it was ended on a positive note, especially like the last 5 minutes. If not, I think the next one needs to be a lot better, but I think they need to hurry up and make it while Daniel Craig is fucking not in a nursing home. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but he had gray hair in this movie. Yeah. It's like they didn't even try and re-dye
I'm cool with him
hair.
being a little bit gray hair, but he's got to I don't know, his
face
tired.
was lifeless. Like, it was sagging, he was like...
Yeah.
Ho, 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 ho.
I agree.
Cheeky British dry humor.
And it was just a really disappointing movie. I haven't been let down with a movie like this in a long time.
See, now how can you guys say, because I think both of you say, I don't know about you, I know you say it, that Daniel Craig's your favorite Bond if 2 out of the 4 movies are shitty? In my opinion, Skyfall is even shitty.
Because an actor can exceed expectations and be great and still be in the worst piece of shit you'd ever see.
No, but see, he's got to provide something. You got to have a level of consistency to really be considered that great.
I'll be honest, I saw Casino Royale when it came out in 2006. I was 13 years old. And that was like the real first time I paid attention to James Bond and the actor who played him as like a maturing young adult. Mm-hmm. And I went back as an adult and watched other Bonds, and for some reason I just clicked more, and maybe more biased because that was like the first one I loved. Mm-hmm. But I've always stuck with him. And I just want to say that I am a Tom Cruise fanboy, but at this point I can safely say that the Mission Impossible movies are definitely the way to go. If this was to come out, if the next James Bond came out the same day as the next Mission Impossible, I'm obviously going to go see the next Mission Impossible. The cast is amazing. You care for the cast. Not to get into it, but I would definitely drop the next 007 and go see Mission Impossible.
I just want to say I don't endorse that. I think Mission Impossible was a cool video game for the Nintendo 64. It had some cool missions on it. That's about it. I can't even stand those movies.
Can I say my little piece?
Go
I
ahead,
think
say it.
007, the franchise, is in a weird place. It's stuck between
It is.
trying to figure out what it was and what it wants to be.
You nailed it with that first word. It's fucking stuck.
Yeah.
It's stuck. It's like they hit a wall and they're standing there looking at it. Like, what do we do now?
I think what they should do, they should just take some time and write a really good screenplay for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something completely original. That'd be really nice.
And bring Christoph Waltz back. I don't care how much money it is, and then make him actually be in the movie and not 20 minutes.
And let me say, I mean, like I said earlier, he was in, they showed scenes of him in the marketing materials. In the first teaser, you saw him in the shadows. The first trailer, it showed his face. And in the third trailer, it showed like him actually talking to Bond and moving around. And honestly, I understand why they didn't show more, because that's the only scenes they really had him for.
Yeah.
Was what they showed in the trailer. Everything you saw in the trailer, that was basically it. The only thing you didn't see in the trailer was the third act at the very end on the bridge. That's the only thing you didn't see.
It's almost like they wrote it. Like, they wrote around Christoph Waltz's schedule. Like,
They
no,
did. That's
no,
what they did.
no, they didn't do that. They made what they were going to do, like, and filmed around his schedule.
Yeah.
But it's like they wrote around it, almost. Because they just throw a bunch of bullshit at you, throw a bunch of Dave Bautista at you,
And want you to be surprised.
and then, and they want you to be surprised, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Isn't surprising. This is basic, bland. They throw a bunch of Dave Bautistas at you, okay? And then they bring in Christoph Waltz for the final blow, and the final blow was nullified because the rest of the movie was pretty shitty.
And, bro, they straight up stole that plot twist from fucking Austin Powers. Think about it.
They really...
They copied fucking Austin Powers.
Originally
for
Austin Powers stole that from
No, I know,
007,
but it's a joke.
That's what 007 is. It's a fucking non-stop circle of the same shit over and over again. Bring in some new writers. Do something new.
And I do also want to say that on the whole Mission Impossible subject, they marketed this movie like in the trailers, and when you saw like different things for online of like the Day of the Dead was like a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
And I understand it was a big part of the movie, and it was the opening scene.
10
But
minutes.
if you look at it, in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, it showed the whole Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise's real stunt of him hanging on the side of the airplane. That was the first 4 minutes of that movie. And that is the best intro to a movie I've seen in like the past 3 years on a new action movie. And I feel like Spectre tried to copy that, and it just did a shitty job.
Better than the Mad Max intro.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, Tom Hardy hater. But, yeah, so I give it a B.
C plus, maybe C.
And I give it a 7 out of 10.
And that's me being nice. It's pretty shitty.
Oh,
Honestly. Don't watch
regardless, it's an okay Bond movie. It could be better.
it. If you like James Bond movies, don't watch it. If you don't like James Bond movies or you don't care to like them, watch it. You might like it.
It's not the worst, it's just lazy. But anyway, that's it for us, guys.
Yeah, definitely. For George,
Danny.
And from Luke,
we are the Vulgar Critics. Fuck off.
you.
I don't know why I did it for the first time. I almost said I wasn't going to do it.
No.
We should redo that and edit that.
No, we're not. This is it.
I wasn't going to
This
do
is
this.
it.
God damn it.
Fuck you guys
Fuck
forever.
them and fuck you.
And fuck Daniel Craig. I'm kidding. I like him sometimes. He's alright. Have a good one.